inside a building, Professor. Why, I thought we'd be outside. Oh, God, it's dark. My eyes are blinded by the flashes. And so loud. Did you know it would be that loud? Oh, I have the lantern. Do you have the light?
Yes. So this is 2014. Exactly 120 years into the future. Interesting. Ruby, take notes.
I don't need to take notes. I can remember everything perfectly. It's my gift.
Well, then take them for my sake.
Oh, my. Look at the women, Professor. I mean, look at how they're dressed. The women are wearing pants. Pants! Oh, my, how the world has changed. And no corsets? Oh, they are so liberated.
They can see and hear you, Ruby.
Oh. Hi.
This appears to be a gathering of some sort, perhaps a lecture on modern science.
Really?
How fortuitous. Imagine the advances science has made in this time period. Shall we find seats? Oh, excuse me. Are those seats taken? No? Oh, splendid. Is this gathering for a lecture of some sort? No? Oh, a Christmas play, you say. Quite right. It is that blessed time of year, isn't it?
What is this device?
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. May I? Oh, this must have cost you a pretty penny. You must be quite rich. Although you don't appear to be rich. I mean, by your plain clothes and lack of finery. Yet look at this expensive device you carry. What is it? What does it do?
Oh, Ruby, I've acquired 2 seats for us up front. Oh, excuse me, I noticed you're not wearing your hat. Is there a coat check? No? Oh, perhaps I should check my things. Would you be nice and save these seats for me? Oh, good. You see that girl there? She's with me. Ruby is terribly bright, but a rubbish assistant.
Oh, may I show this to the professor? I'll bring it straight back, I promise. Professor Gaines, look at this. It's a cellular telephone, a wireless handheld telephone. I'm told it takes photographs and types messages. Although I don't see how all this could fit inside such a small box. It also plays music and has a built-in guidance system, all in the palm of your hand.
Oh, I say, look at that. Oh, well, it's mind-boggling.
Isn't it just ducky?
Well, what is it called?
She called it her phone. They've shortened telephone to just phone. How clever. But why not call it a camera or a picture box? They also put their face in a book. Why would they do that?
I don't know how to say this, but there's some sort of machine in the kitchen. Does anybody know anything about it?
Oh, terribly sorry. That is mine. We had intended to calculate for an empty field. Won't happen again.
Yes.
Ruby, this is all your fault.
What?
Yeah.
How could I have known there would one day be a lecture hall with a kitchen in the future? This was a desolate field away from town.
Well, it can't be in there, so could you help me remove it, please?
Oh, yes, right away. It would seem our expedition is cut short.
Thank you.
Return this phone to its owner, and we will remove our machine immediately. Yes. So sorry.
Merry Christmas.
The year is 1894, Christmas time. A lot of extra mail this time of year. This here is the home of Colonel Angus Keegan of the National Geographic Society. He and his grandson, Stewart, rattle around in this old monstrosity.
Professor Gaines and Ruby have traveled through the temporal window into the future. I can only hope they made it there and will return safely. I am the only living soul who knows about this, which is a rotten secret to have to keep. Theoretically, they're coming back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and I will greet them at the landing site. The capsule is heavy and crammed, which was unavoidable considering our limitations.
Stewart? Stewart!
In order
You're
to
late to
accommodate
supper.
enough people for future exploration, we should toss around the idea of aluminum.
Why must you lock the door? What are you up to?
Sorry about that. Habit, I guess.
I thought maybe you'd fallen asleep. You've been doing that a lot lately in the strangest of places.
I guess I just have a lot on my mind these days.
Well, let's feed the beast. I have lamb stew for supper.
Lamb stew? No offense, Granddad, but your cooking isn't really that good.
I am a very good cook. I've learned the culinary secrets from chefs around the world. I can teach you to survive on plant roots, nutritious bugs, raw fish.
Why don't we hire a cook? It's not like we can't afford it.
Now there's gratitude for you. I learned this recipe from a lord I stayed with back in '72. He taught me the fine art of marinating the gaminess out of it. Lamb is good for you.
So, you tell me you like to cook?
What's an old explorer supposed to do? Retirement's not all it's cracked up to be. And now that you're in college, I'm not as involved in your upbringing. So, do you have a lass you're interested in?
Granddad, it's a little private.
I'm your grandfather. And your mother and your father. Truth be told, if you're not going to tell me, who would you tell?
I wouldn't discuss it with anybody.
Is she a co-ed Barnett?
It doesn't matter. She's out of my league anyways.
Oh, how so?
Oh, well, she's the daughter of some bigwig. Goes out with the country club types. I doubt she knows I exist.
If you like her, be bold. Tell her. You're a fine catch. She'd be lucky to have you.
Ruby would jump at the chance, but I don't know. She's like a sister.
When I was your age, I had quite a few lasses interested in me. But there was only one I wanted.
Oh, really?
Your grandmother. She was the only one I wanted to court. But she didn't know I existed. She sat in the front row at church. I became quite a devout Catholic until she noticed me. Yes. And then I hunted her until I had her. So you see, God served a purpose.
Well, I thought you rejected the idea of God.
Not so much rejection as disappointment. When your grandmother got sick, I begged him for her life, but he took her. And then he took me son. No, I have found God to be a vengeful tyrant. I live my life and leave God out of it.
I'll have to be very careful not to disappoint you, Granddad. I wouldn't want you to write me off, too.
Impossible! You're my pride and joy. Nothing you could do could change that. Now let's go have some of Lord Loxley's lamb stew.
Okay.
This is Columbia University's physics lab. It seems that Professor Benjamin Gaines, physics teacher here at Columbia, has received private funding to pursue ideas in science that heretofore were thought impossible.
"4 hours through weeds and wilderness. I wish Stewart could have picked us up. No, if we had one of those phones from the future, we could have rang for him.
That was a fool's errand. There won't be another window to that time for at least 30 years. It was a bust. We didn't glean anything significant.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry. Just learn from it and do better next time.
Does this mean we are going to try to find another temporal window to the future?
I wish we had made better advantage, taken better advantage of the time we had. It was over too quickly. I mean, 10 years of research wasted?
But we found out that it really works. Time travel can transcend the laws of nature.
Yes, but we were nowhere near anything remotely useful, such as a research lab or a medical facility.
I bet they've abolished sickness altogether by 2014. You know, I have a friend who's a med student, quite brilliant. Do you think we could consider another trustworthy passenger for our next expedition?
Well, a medical student could be useful. Who is he?
Not a he. He is a she. Sydney Ross.
A girl?
A woman, and I am a woman, in case you forgot.
And a rubbish assistant. You are too independent, you lack sufficient focus.
I'm first in my class at Barnard, thank you very much. And Sydney is taking pre-med classes to become a doctor, against all modern convention.
Wait, a female doctor? What is her family like?
She's from a wealthy family in Chicago. Her father's in politics.
Well, you know, one of the reasons you became my assistant was you had no one to miss you.
Thanks for the reminder. But look how seamlessly this trip went. We came back with no loss of limb, no loss of time, some loss of your brain.
Ruby, I had years to calculate for this trip. My calculations guaranteed seamless travel between the times. I haven't even begun to look into other opportunities, and we're running out of money.
You have perfected the formula, sir. And now you have Stewart and me to help.
Well, some help. If I didn't need the extra hands, I would do it myself.
Do you want to meet Sydney or not?
All right. But don't tell her anything until I've had a chance to size her up for myself.
Righto.
Oh, don't be flippant, Ruby. I cannot overemphasize the importance of secrecy. Can I trust you?
Of course.
Can I trust you?
Of course. Now, I need to sneak back to my dorm room.
Well, someone needs to get word to Stewart that we've returned early.
Excuse me. I was just cleaning up a bit. I'll be going now.
What was he doing here at 11 o'clock at night?
Oh, he's the janitor. His work begins when the doors are closed for the evening. He's harmless. Would you like me to walk you back to your dorms?
No, I'll be fine. I'll drop a note at Stewart's house that we've returned. Good night, Professor.
Good night. Well, I am truly sorry, my love. This trip was meant to bring us closer to a cure.
Stewart? Stewart! Why must you lock the door? I have a message for you.
A message from who?
It was slid under the door. Is everything all right?
Yeah, it's just a meeting that got canceled.
A meeting? At this hour?
Not now, Grandpa, tomorrow. Everything's fine.
All right. Flocks of angels, sing thee to thy rest. Good night and sweet dreams.
Good night.
This is Barnard College. Columbia University is an all-men's school. Barnard is a private institution, the female counterpart, where a young woman can go to study science, the liberal arts, to the equal of any man.
Do you think this would make me look fat? Priscilla, nobody's looking at your... Ouch! Oh, I pinched myself on the stupid zipper.
Someone's in a foul mood. Look at the bags under your eyes. You'd think you hadn't slept the whole night through.
Yeah, you'd think.
You two are late, you know. I don't have class until this afternoon, thank God. Reggie's meeting me for breakfast.
Priscilla, I don't mean to nag, but if you don't start studying now, you'll be cramming the night before.
I started studying for the first week of classes.
That's because you don't have a life, Ruby. I, on the other hand, have pressing social engagements. I'm chairman of the Christmas Cotillion Committee.
Priscilla, don't take this the wrong way, but you're a complete flibberty-gibbet.
I will have you know I'm being quite responsible. Reggie and I are meeting today for breakfast to go over decorations. There are some things that are more important than theoretical physics.
Theoretical physics will transform the world, Prissy. 16th century French literature is hardly relevant.
It's 17th century, and Molière did transform the world with his comedic plays. Thank you very much.
Who gives a flying fig about that?
I do.
Girls, I heard through the grapevine they're having room inspections sometime this week, so please try to clean up after yourselves.
Yes, Mother.
You know, Sydney, Andrew's completely taken with you. If he wasn't, I would snatch him up myself. But I suppose that Reggie's a suitable replacement. Do you think that Reggie's as dreamy as Andrew is?
No one's as dreamy as Andrew. He honestly believes that I'll give it all up. Oh. He strongly objects to my being a medical student. I just can't take him seriously. He honestly believes that I'll give it all up to become his wife. Oh, I've got to go. See you tonight?
Oh, Priscilla? Where is it? Oh, will you fold these things for me? I'll pay you back in spades, I promise. Oh, I'm going to regret this, aren't I?
More than likely.
I'll see you tonight. Don't promise anything to Reggie.
I was
Bye.
using that.
"5 points, Manhattan Borough. With no government assistance or child labor regulations, life is not kind to orphaned, abandoned children.
Hey, you, mister, you in the fancy shirt. You got any spare change? Any at all?
Oh, I have plenty of change, gutter snipe, just none for you.
Hey, who you calling a gutter snipe? What does that even mean?
My dear wretched child, a gutter snipe is someone who lives and eats from the gutter, which you obviously have been doing your entire life.
You got a big mouth, Mr. Man. You know that, right? You're on our turf now.
Not for long. In 1 year's time, you'll be treading on my turf.
Here's a cigar. Go smoke that. Is this true? Something you haven't told me about yet?
Yes. Just about the whole lot for a song. Promises to be a golden goose. Could be my most lucrative venture to date.
You sure do have a way with money.
Well, money does make the world go around. And speaking of money, Andrew, it's time for you to settle down and make some speculations of your own.
Well, I plan to. As soon as Sydney gives up her foolish notion of becoming a physician, nobody in their right mind would consider a female doctor. As soon as she realizes that, I'll be there for her and sweep her off her feet, speaking of which.
There she is.
How are you doing?
Hello, Andrew.
Are we still on for dinner tonight?
If I can get out of chemistry lab tonight. Good morning, Mr. Devereaux.
Ladies?
Say the word and I'll rid you from all of this.
Once again, Andrew, this is my dream. If you don't like it, I suggest you move on.
Sydney, I am mortally late to physics class and you have anatomy. Let's go.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Terribly sorry, ladies. Haste makes waste. Be on your way.
What do you have there?
Nothing at all.
Oh.
Stewart, old sport, you. Hello, Andrew. What are you doing up before noon? Mr. Devereaux?
Stewart Keegan. How is your grandfather doing?
Oh, he's going stir crazy in that house of his. I'll tell you what, he needs a project end soon. Otherwise, he's likely to mother me to death.
Really? I've been meaning to pay him a visit. I've had my eye on that property for some time now.
Good luck with that. As much as I'd welcome the change, I'd be very surprised if he ever sold it. I mean, that was my grandmother's house.
Well, it's always worth a try. I mean, they don't call me successful for my devilish good looks now, do they?
No, they don't. No, they don't. They could, though.
Say, Mr. Devereaux, I was thinking about asking your daughter to the theater. Do you think she'd say yes?
My Priscilla? Well, she's a big girl. She can make up her own mind. But if it's my permission you're seeking, you absolutely have it.
Oh, thanks. I think I will.
Unless someone asks her first.
Well, I thought you had your cap set for Sydney. Well, please tell me I'm not treading on your toes.
I like to keep my options open.
I'm late for class. Good day, gentlemen.
Goodbye, Stewart. Give my best to your grandfather, yes?
I will.
Yeah, well, I must be on my way, too. I have tee off in half an hour and a bucket of money wagered on a win. Wish me luck.
Goodbye, Andrew. What the devil is this thing?
Our Father who art in heaven.
Y'all keep it.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a question?
Who might you be? Looking for a handout because I'm not the generous type.
No, sir. I just couldn't help it over here that you bought this property.
Ah, so you're a bum and an eavesdropper, too. Good for you.
Well, it's a good thing we don't judge a book by its cover now, ain't it?
I will judge whoever I want whenever I want, so get to the point. Why should you care if I buy this property?
Well, there's a whole group of kids living over here. I was just wondering what's going to happen to them when their home's taken away.
How is that any of my concern?
Well, it might be good to include in your plans a place for these kids to go once their home's gone.
Ah, yes, of course. Well, how about this, Mr.
Homer.
Homer. Wonderful, yes. How would you like, Mr. Homer, if I saw to it personally that a children's home was erected right here in this very block? That way, all those little undesirables would have a place to stay indefinitely. How about that?
You talk about these kids like they're just a bunch of stray cats. Now, I'm sure underneath this brassy facade, there's a real human being who will take this matter seriously.
And I'm sure somewhere under that layer of filth is a charlatan just looking to save his own tail.
God help you, mister.
Well, obviously, he already has. Good evening.
All right, class, take your seats, please. Take your seats. All right. Okie-do, all righty. Class, excuse me. Today, take your seats, son. Thank you. Today, I have an exercise for you. Please take out a piece of paper and something to write with. Now, I am going to bring some subjects into the classroom and have you observe them and their behavior. Write down every detail you notice, and then we will discuss our findings. Mrs. Scolari, please bring them in.
What'd I tell you? Excuse me, sir. You dropped this.
All right. Please take a moment to record your observations. Yes, record your observations. Yes.
What does this have to do with physics?
Oh, my dear boy. Physics is the general analysis of nature conducted in order to better understand how the universe behaves. Observation is key. Now, learning to observe is the purpose of this exercise. Feel free to get up and walk around if you like.
So, Homer, where's this hot bread you promised?
I forgot to mention we need to let the professor conduct his experiments on us first.
Woohoo. Well,
I ain't no lab rat.
Well, if you want some hot bread, you are a lab rat.
So what are we supposed to do? A couple tricks or something?
Just hold your horses.
You mean stay in here and have all these swells gawk at us? I don't like it. Next thing you know, they're gonna put us in some sort of maze. Lab rats
Don't shush me. You promised hot bread. We not out bread since the bakery burnt down.
Oh, Mr. Scolari, please bring the bread in.
Hey,
out of my way.
Take it easy.
Yes,
Give the man some space.
Place it right here on the table.
Let me out.
Whoa. Give us this day our daily bread. Okay,
All right, take a moment to record your observations.
Hey, put that down.
All right. Thank you. Now, having observed our subjects, I will call on you. Please stand and read aloud some of the things you've noted. And be sure to explain how you reached your conclusions. Yes.
Well, the children appear to be street urchins, based off their clothing and lack of personal grooming. The young man, judging by his accents from, I'd say, somewhere in the south. The fact that the children were preoccupied with the promise of the fresh bread indicates that you most likely lured them here for the purpose of enlightening our class on the real state of life on the streets.
Well done. Thank you. Yes.
The one in the striped pants looks better fed than the others. I suspect by the dust on his clothes and the calluses on his hands that he earns a small wage shoveling coal. And those teeth look like they've been malnourished for years.
Your brain's been malnourished for years.
Oh, and where do you live again?
Oh, Reuben, yes.
We're all be guessing the man is familiar with the dark arts of voodoo by the tarot cards in his pocket and by the mischievous look on his face. The short nails and calluses on his fingertips indicate he's a musician.
Thank you. Before I dismiss our guests, I would like to find out if our findings are accurate. Did you all hear anything that did not ring true?
Mr. Professor, or whatever your name is, my hands ain't dirty from working at the coal mine. I stole that coal and I sold it all the way over to the East Town.
My teeth are rotten for too much candy.
Yeah, I'm from the south, but these here are just common playing cards. I ain't no dabbler in dark arts. And my instrument is a guitar, and I can play like an angel. How do I know what angels sound like? Because I've seen them, and I've heard them. I'm not lying about this.
Well, thank you. You've all been most gracious to help us out today. As our way of saying thank you, please take another loaf with you as you go. Mr. Scolari will escort you out.
Okay. Remember your manners.
All right. And now, class, if we have learned anything, it is that educated guesses are only the beginning of research. Can you tell me something else you've learned?
Something should really be done to help those kids.
You can't always judge a book by its cover.
When you look at someone, there's much to find out, but when you talk to them, there's much more understanding.
Yes, I find it interesting that we tend to color our evidence with our own emotional perspectives. But as scientists, we must remain completely objective. And we must never say impossible. Well, for instance, the young man Homer, he mentioned that he had seen and heard angels play music. Well, how many of you dismissed his claims as ludicrous or impossible? But none of you? But you all took him at his word that he had seen and heard angels play music?
Professor Gaines, I think somebody should interview him further. I mean, he clearly said that in order to evoke response. What if he was talking about something that just reminded him of angels?
Yes, Mr. Keegan, I believe you've hit upon it. Someone should find him and ask him what he meant, in the interest of science. Yes.
Is this going to be on the exam Friday?
Yes.
Oh.
So, what do you think, Sergeant? Is the professor on track, or is he wasting me money?
Well, Colonel, from what I can gather, his trip was cut short, and not a whole lot of results to speak of.
I want him to go to the past. I don't care what other windows happen to open.
You got to tell him. You got to tell him what you want. I mean, you're the man footing the bill here.
He's making more of it than I want. I want him to save Martin, my son.
Like I said, you got to tell him. I mean, the man's a scientist. He's got that natural curiosity, and plus, he's working with a bunch of kids.
All right. One more trip. One more trip to 1883, and that's it. One more mission.
Well, he's gonna insist on making it about science.
That's all right, as long as he saves Martin. Keep me informed, Sergeant.
Always, Colonel.
Good day.
All right. Let's see, where were we? Therefore, do not worry.
Hey. It's Homer, right?
Yeah. Do I know you?
Hey, it's a squirrel from the class.
Yeah, I'm Stewart Keegan. He came into my physics class.
Yeah. I reckon we made good subjects for the professor's guessing game.
Yeah. Listen, I was wondering if I could ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Well, you came in and you told our class that you'd seen and heard angels playing music?
Yeah, I reckon, well, I said that in your classroom because I was trying to shake things up. You see, typical science class is only focused on what man can do.
What do you mean?
Well, most folks forget that we come from God and that He's the one who's in control.
So, you really saw and heard angels playing music?
Yes, I did.
Real angels? I mean, come on.
Well, why is that so unusual? We read about them all over the Bible. Angels are God's messengers. When Mary was getting the news from Gabriel that she'd bear the Son of God, when the disciples were looking for Jesus in those empty tombs, angels had to help them out.
Yeah, I know the stories. But why would God send an angel to you?
Well, maybe there weren't no people willing to come to this part of town to talk to me.
So,
I don't know.
So God just sent an angel.
When I first came to this city, I was all alone, and I had no one. My parents, they died back in Texas, and I came here looking for my daddy's kin. Come to find out, they died of diphtheria. And then that's when an angel appeared. He spoke to me and told me that I was God's child, and that He loved me. And then I got this glimpse of angels worshiping around God's throne. It was one of the most frightening and beautiful moments of my life. And that's when everything changed. And as bad as things have gotten, I realized that without desperation, I would have never been able to hear His voice or see His angel or even receive His help.
It's quite compelling.
Well, it's God's honest truth. I'd be a different man if He hadn't saved me.
Is that why you spend so much time with these kids?
Yeah, I suppose I just wish there would have been someone for me when I was in their shoes.
It's a very generous undertaking, Homer. You should be proud of yourself.
I'm not too proud. I'm grateful. You know what I found out, Stewart? There's joy. There's complete and perfect joy, the likes of which this world cannot offer. In His presence, there's fullness of joy. And at His right hand, pleasures forevermore. Psalm 16:11, can't beat that. He's got a plan for all of us, Stewart. Even you.
Andrew, what are you doing in the ladies' dorm?
Quiet, you saucy wench. Don't be a wet blanket. I'm here for Sydney. We have a dinner date.
Well, she's not here.
Well, may I sit and wait?
You'd have us thrown out of the dormitory if they knew there was a boy in the school. Besides, Sydney won't be home for hours. She's probably forgotten all about you.
Impossible. No one forgets about me. Besides, I'm not leaving until she gets here.
Oh, fiddlesticks. You can stay, I guess. But if anyone comes, you hide.
She doesn't return any of my messages. Where's she at? Who's she out with?
Well, it's not another man, Andrew. It's school. Plus, we modern women don't just sit around waiting for some man to come along. If you want us, you have to come get us.
Well, what do you think I'm doing here?
Smelling up our room. Where have you been? Smoking? Drinking?
At the club, my dear. Losing my shirt in a card game. I need cheering up.
You're still wearing your shirt.
Oh, but I can change that if you'd like.
You are nothing but a flirt. Well, I guess since Sydney isn't here, I suppose you could take me to dinner.
Very well. Get your coat.
Room inspection. Open the door.
We're not quite ready. Could you come back in just a few minutes?
The very nature of a room inspection is to be ready at all times. Now, open the door. Schnell.
What do I do?
Out the window.
It's 2 flights up.
There's a trellis.
That thing won't hold me.
Well, you can't stay here. Out the window. All ready for your inspection, miss?
What is going on in here? I heard voices.
Huh? Check it out. What's that guy doing up there? That's a girl's dorm room. That dude gave me a cigar yesterday. It wasn't worth anything. Come on, let's go get some real money. Hey! Give some money.
You want something?
Come on. Go. All right, let's get out of here. Come on. Hurry up.
Fräulein Devereaux, you seem to have a very lax understanding of the meaning of room inspection. Now, you will open the door promptly. The next time I knock. Now, look at this room. There are smudges all over these windows. And there are footprints on the windowsill. Well, you have passed for now, but do better. I come back later.
Thank you.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, there is one more thing. Yes. Your father came by and says to me, tell my daughter to meet me at the Grand for dinner. Now, tell your father I am no one's messenger boy. Understand?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
I go again.
Very thorough. Thank you.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Good day.
Aha.
You all right?
Oh, aside from the scratches and bruises, no worse for the wear.
Oh, good. Well, meet me downstairs. We're going to dinner with Daddy.
Oh, even better. Pick up the tab.
Yes!
Priscilla, it's me, Stewart Keegan.
Stewart, what are you doing here? You could have been in so much trouble. Didn't you see the matron? She was here not 10 seconds ago.
Calm down, I saw her. I hid in an empty dorm until she left.
Oh.
So, listen, Priscilla, I was just coming by to see what your plans were for tonight. There's a new act opening at Chesterfield's.
Well, I...
Don't say no. Not after I risked so much to be here.
Stewart, you are very sweet.
Can I say that you're just so perfect?
Oh, don't say that. If I was perfect, then there would be no room for improvement, and that's why Daddy pays for my tuition.
Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh!
What the devil is that?
It's a cat.
It's not a cat. Oh, what do we have here?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing in the women's dorm?
I can say the same thing. What are you... Wait a second, you're alone with Priscilla.
Oh, don't just stand there. Help me. I'm about to plunge to my death.
I don't know. That would make a pretty juicy headline, wouldn't it? The senator's son plunges to his death just outside the women's dormitory at Barnard College. Which would sully the good name of your father. And not to mention tarnish the reputation of Miss Priscilla Devereaux.
Give me your hand, you intolerable stooge. Gosh, you're so heavy. Yeah, I work out.
So, am I wrong to assume you're setting your cap for Miss Devereaux?
Boys, really? Must you fight over me like school children? I have a solution. You both can accompany me to dinner.
I can't. There's a meeting tonight that I have to be at. But I'm not fond of the two of you guys growing close together. I mean, what about Sydney, Andrew? You'll tarnish your character in her eyes.
She's making her feelings very clear by choosing school over dinner with me.
Well, I'm leaving. Boys, are you coming or not?
Professor will love this.
What is that?
Chris's chair.
On my desk?
It's just right there in the corner. I didn't even move your papers.
Yeah, well, it's late. Go home and don't forget the tree.
I invited Sydney to meet you, Professor.
Ruby, this had better be important. I'm missing out on a date with somebody to be here.
A date?
Yeah.
Well, it is important. I thought we should all be here if we're going to be adding Sydney to the team.
That's what this meeting's about? Jeez, Ruby.
I take it you know her then, Stewart?
Yeah. We have chemistry club together. Why do I even have to be here?
Good day, Miss Ross. Miss Sydney Ross, allow me to introduce to you Professor Gaines. Professor Gaines, this is Sydney, and you know Stewart, of course. How do you do?
Miss Ross, what has Ruby told you about our project?
Nothing that made any sort of logical sense. If I understood her correctly, you are creating a machine that allows you to travel through time, which is ridiculous, of course.
Ruby, I thought we had agreed to keep this to ourselves.
Sorry, she was going to find out anyways.
Find out what? That you are imagining him transporting yourself to another time? Okay, Jules Verne.
Well, up until now, time travel has just been the stuff of science fiction. But a few years ago, I developed a hypothesis of temporal windows. I began work on a machine that would serve as a conveyance through time. The machine would protect the passengers of the electrical surges and medical things required to propel it through the window.
I'm sorry, but this all sounds quite implausible.
I would have said that too if I hadn't experienced it. I already went to 2014 with the professor. Oh, in the future, people can carry telephones in their pockets. And... Uh-oh. Professor?
Ruby? Well, what have you done?
I think I kind of lost the phone from the future.
Oh, blazes, Ruby, what were you thinking? Wait, no, you took the device and lost it? Have you any idea the implications? You have completely violated our code. Now, there is a reason we have a code.
Obviously, Ruby thinks she's above the law.
I'm sure it's just in my room. I will find it.
This is all a silly prank, isn't it? Okay, haha, you got me. I can't believe you got the professor to go along with this whole charade. Good one, Ruby.
It's real.
It is real, Sydney. And I've been wondering, why are we the only ones that know about this?
Well, what we are doing is dangerous. If the technology were to fall into the wrong hands, which it obviously could now, imagine the chaos. And if anyone found out what we were doing, they would shut us down quicker than you can say Jack the Ripper. And all the research I've done would be taken away.
And all your imaginary time travels to see Napoleon or George Washington or, why not, Jesus himself would all be lost. And I shudder to think of the tragedy.
Well, are you in or out? Ruby seems to think you'd be a valuable member of our expedition, but I am beginning to feel otherwise.
It's too far-fetched. It can't be real. But by the looks on your faces, I see that you believe it, so sure, I'll be a part of your team if I can be of any use in this game.
Game?
Yes, game, until I see sufficient proof. This is all poppycock.
I will show you the phone. Then you'll have to believe.
What would be my part in all of this?
Well, if the trip were purposeful and the knowledge useful, I believe we could make certain favorable changes. For instance, the vaccine for diphtheria was only recently developed. But imagine how many lives we could save if we could take that technology to the past.
An interesting but wishful theory. The diphtheria plague killed thousands of people every year.
Well, we would want to go to 1954 to glean further medical and technical knowledge before we went. Now, the trip would only last for 24 hours. Stewart and Ruby would look at trends in technology, and you with your insights could look at medical advances.
I still think we're treading on dangerous ground trying to change things. I mean, what about process?
Well, we won't be making technical changes that require process.
Vaccine development requires process, Ruby.
I am pleased to report that we've received additional funding for a larger capsule.
Wait, who is funding all of this?
Our benefactor wishes to remain anonymous.
Of course he does. So we have an impossible mission with an anonymous donor for an ambiguous journey with medicine to save the masses. I'm in. But if you are all quite finished here, I have hours of homework to get to. I should probably go.
Well, I hope you understand how important it is that you say nothing. Can I trust you?
Don't worry. I don't wish to appear as foolish as you all do right now. My lips are sealed.
Ruby, the tree.
Ebenezer Scrooge had nothing on you.
Professor, I have to go check something out in the library. I'll be right back.
All right. One more trip and then I'll have what I need to save you. My love. Oh.
Good evening, Professor Gaines.
Colonel Keegan, what brings you to Columbia?
Let me cut to the chase. I want to clarify the conditions for my financing the time travel project.
We're not ready yet, sir. We want to go to the future and glean further medical and technical knowledge before we go back.
Confound the knowledge! I want you to save me, son.
Oh, but it's a delicate set of circumstances, sir, and we want to accomplish as much as possible when we go.
I am running out of patience. I let you put me off already when you convinced me to take that first trip and it failed.
With all due respect, sir, the mission was not a failure.
Nevertheless, I want your next trip to be the one I am financing.
But, sir, we've already begun calculations for 1954.
Then recalculate.
You are not the only one with a personal agenda here.
Oh, you mean scientific curiosity?
I lost my wife. 10 years ago, she died of a heart condition. I'm sure in the future there are ways to cure that. I just need to go and get a cure and bring it back.
But that would mean putting off my trip.
Please, sir. I can save her.
Our attempt at playing God has its costs. And I'm the one calling the shots. Now, I insist you take your own plans and put them on the shelf. I want you to find a way to save Martin. I don't care how you do it, just do it. Then we'll look at future journeys and perhaps we can figure something out. But, Professor, you can never tell my grandson Stewart that I'm your benefactor.
Professor, I think I found a way we can use aluminum. Granddad?
Stewart! I thought you might like a break from me cooking. Let's go to dinner.
Okay. I just have to turn some notes real quick. Can I meet you outside?
Fine. Good night, Professor.
What if my Granddad found out what the Dickens were up to here. I've got the calculations for the new Lunam shield in my journal. He would have raised holy hell.
No. He was just looking for you, Stewart. Thank you. I'll take these. We'll have to postpone our trip to 1954. Past is the way to go for now. That window won't be open for at least a few years.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Me and Ruby were just doing the calculations yesterday. The window to 54 opens in less than a week.
Yes. It's too soon to be ready. Your grandfather's waiting for you, Stewart.
Okay.
Blazes!
Oh, hey, Homer.
Hey, what brings you this part of town?
Granddad and I are just going out for a bite of decent grub. He's a wretched cook.
I heard that.
So, Granddad, this is my friend Homer...
Sutton.
Yeah.
Homer Sutton.
How do you do?
Nice to meet you, sir. Well, have a fine evening.
Have you eaten yet?
Well, I had some breakfast.
Granddad, is it okay if Homer comes with us?
Oh, no. I don't want to impose.
Oh, not at all. It'll be good to have some new conversation. Stewart's not much of a conversationalist unless we're talking about quantum physics.
Hey, I heard that. Let's go get some food.
Man.
All right, let's go.
The Grand Hotel. At the center of New York culture, the Grand is where the well-heeled citizens of the city like to wine and dine.
Daddy, I'm so glad that you purchased the Grand. It's so nice to have a place where refined people can dine near the college.
Yeah, something has got to be done about that neighborhood a few blocks over. It's infested with street rats and foreigners. A man fears for his life or his wallet walking through there. Plus, that's my shortcut to Barnard.
Well, something is being done about it. I just purchased the whole rat's nest.
The whole operation?
Yes. Sometimes one can't afford not to spend money when opportunity knocks. All those buildings and warehouses are going to be torn down. All they are is a breeding ground for outcasts and lepers. Besides, a place like that could be used to make some real money.
We could do with a decent tailor and haberdashery.
More restaurants and theaters, Daddy.
I suppose we do need something to appeal to the younger people. I mean, this city has so much potential. It just screams to be redefined. Thank you. It just needs a captain to steer it in its proper course.
A toast to redefining the city.
To the finer things.
To the men who have the vision and power to see it through.
So I thought I might find you in the physics lab tonight, Stewart. These chairs are uncomfortable.
Sorry. Yeah, the professor has me work on special assignment.
Oh, special assignment? What do you mean? Oh, no. You're kind of close to the What kind of assignment?
It's nothing...
These stupid chairs.
It's nothing important, Granddad. It's just some extra credit.
You're fairly close to the professor. He's a bit unconventional, isn't he?
Yeah, you can say that again.
I didn't know you knew the professor.
Yeah, it's how I met Homer in the first place. Professor had him come into our class for one of his experiments.
Experiment? What do you mean?
Well, the professor asked me to gather up a few of the kids on the street and bring them in to get inspected and dissected. Another way of judging a book by its cover, but those kids were happy to get some hot, fresh bread.
Sounds a bit fishy to me. What was he thinking?
I don't know.
Not as bad as it sounds. He just brought them in to get us to learn how to observe and deduce. But all it did was get me thinking about the plight of those kids. I mean, most of them are homeless, right, Homer? They live in the warehouse just a couple blocks from here.
Yeah, that's right. They've managed to make a shelter out of nothing. They look to me to be sort of a big brother. I try to keep them as honest and safe to the best of my abilities.
You know, I've been around the world, and there's poverty everywhere. I'm not saying it's fair. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I can't help but think that that would have been me. You had to have quit your position and come home to raise me.
So, you're an orphan too, huh?
Yeah. Granddad's been taking care of me for about 11 years.
Huh. If you don't mind me asking, what happened?
The day his mother and father died was the blackest day of me life. An accident like that could have been avoided.
There's a...
Stewart was the great mind of his time. Who knows what he could have accomplished?
There's a train wreck on the way to D.C. If they hadn't been on that train, they'd be sitting with us right now.
They were going to file patents for his inventions.
What sort of inventions?
I don't know. I was in Greenland at the time. But I think he worked for the government. All of his notes were lost in the accident.
Colonel Keegan and Stewart. I see you have a guest dining with you this evening.
Let me introduce Homer
We've
Sutton.
met.
Oh.
And however did you get past the concierge dressed like this?
Didn't seem to be a problem, sir.
Really? Looks like someone's about to get fired. What a shame. Out.
Oh, now don't be that way, Mr. Devereaux. No. I come in here regularly. And I think he was looking out for your reputation by not questioning my integrity.
Ah, yes, quite true, Colonel.
So bring him back.
Maybe later. Quite true. After all, everyone should be allowed to experience the luxury of the grand at least once in their lives. Even people of the lower class, like your friend here. Anyways, I have a confession to make, Colonel.
You do?
I absolutely adore your house. I'm utterly keen on purchasing it. Name a price. Money's not an issue, of course.
I'm sorry, Mr. Devereaux. It's not for sale.
Really?
But I understand you're buying up all the property on the warehouse district.
Yes.
I'm not sure you're going to be quite satisfied until you own the whole city.
Oh, wouldn't it be a dream come true?
Yes.
Stewart, any luck with my daughter yet?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I asked her to the theater the other day, but she never really gave me a direct answer.
So that's the lass you're interested in, huh?
He certainly is. And don't give up yet, you know. Old Andrew over there, you know, he's good for breeding and all. But my Priscilla needs someone with a good head on his shoulders. Someone like you. After all, she's just like her father. She admires ambition, which is exactly what this city needs. So, Mr. Homer, I hope you enjoy your brief stay in my restaurant, brief being the operative word. Gentlemen, enjoy your evening.
He's a bit of a smug, slippery snake, ain't he?
Oh, pay no attention to him. He's in love with his own reflection.
These chairs are horrible.
After nearly a year of waiting and preparation, waiting for the temporal windows to align again, the team is on the verge of the second expedition into another time. Meanwhile, the uncertain life of homeless orphans is becoming yet more uncertain.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I beat you. Okay. 1, 2, 3. No. Okay, 4.
Hey,
1, 2.
Stop. Hey, Homer. I found this thing on the dig sites. I can't read. What's it say?
Notice, demolition is scheduled for November 15th. All inhabitants will be required to vacate the premises immediately. Devereaux Enterprises.
Hey, Homer. Vacate the premises. What does that mean?
It means you all got to move out.
Oh, what? You're kidding, right?
No.
This place, it's a crap hole. But the streets, it's 1,000 times worse.
Well, I'll look into it. I'm sure they don't mean to tear down your home without providing an alternative.
Why not? They don't care about us. We're nobody.
We ain't got nowhere to go.
I met Devereaux a while back. He led me to believe that he had some alternate shelter built for you. I don't know where to find him. Maybe my friend the professor will know.
I think we fixed the leak, huh?
What are we gonna do? I'm scared. I don't want to live in the street again.
Hey, we'll put this in God's hands.
Homer, can God put a roof on our heads and food on the table?
Yes, he can, son. Now, don't you all worry. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna figure this mess out.
See you, Homer.
We finished the new machine and we're leaving tomorrow. We're going 11 years into the past. What a coincidence. We're traveling to the very time my parents were killed. I can't believe my good luck. I'm sure I'll be able to keep them from getting on that train. I think it's my destiny to save them. Maybe it's God's will. I can't stop thinking about Homer. He's become like a friend to me over these last few months. Even though he's a street person, he's intelligent. And the way he talks about God so freely makes me feel like I'm missing something big. The only time Granddad talks about God is to blame him.
All right, time for dress inspection. You know, the good thing about going back only 11 years is that the style hasn't changed that much. Look, Professor still wears the same coat.
Well, if you weren't in elementary school 11 years ago, you might be using the same clothes also.
I have a question. If we're going back from the lab, wouldn't we run to the past you from 11 years ago?
That could possibly happen, I'm sure.
Thank you.
May I help you?
Yeah, I've been looking all over for you.
What the blazes are you doing
I
in
need
here?
you to help me look for a man named Devereaux. I've met him before, but I don't know where to find him.
Professor, time is ticking.
Yes, I'm sorry, but we're working here.
Yeah, I can see that. What is this contraption you got here?
It's nothing. It's just a piece of equipment. I mean, it looks like a time machine, but that's ridiculous.
Ruby!
Time machine.
Don't worry, it's just a big charade. Mr. Devereaux's our roommate's father. I could speak to him tonight if you would
Well,
like.
that might be too late. You see, my friends have nowhere to sleep, and Devereaux's all set to tear down the warehouse they're living in. Those kids are waiting for me under a bridge, and they got no one to speak up for them, so I'm giving it my best shot. Is there any way you could take me to meet Devereaux tonight?
I'm sorry, it's late and we're on a schedule.
Well, those kids might freeze to death if you stick to your schedule.
I'm sure we can help them tomorrow. Homer, will you please escort Homer out here? Stewart, thank you. Goodness. Don't...
What is it you're all fixing to do?
Ruby shouldn't have said anything.
Well, cat's kind of out of the bag. Something about a time machine?
Okay, listen. We have diphtheria vaccines that are going to do a lot of good. Plus,
serious?
I plan on saving my parents' lives.
Okay, I'll humor you for a minute. Even if you had this ability to time travel, do you think it's in God's plan that you go and change things?
Was it God's plan that my parents died?
I don't know, Stewart. My family died too, remember?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all the loss you've experienced, but I plan on going back and stopping my parents from getting on that train.
Stewart, I don't think you should tamper with it. Even the best intentions can get twisted up, okay? The best way to effect change is to pray. Science shouldn't just be used to alter God's laws.
I've brought up those concerns myself, but the professor assured me we'd only be there to observe and, if possible, to help.
Okay.
I do feel like he has some of his own intentions, though, to tell you the truth.
Oh, really?
Stewart, hurry up. The window's closing.
All right. I'm sorry. Take the kids to my grandfather's house. I know he will help you.
Stewart, please. Come with me.
I'm sorry. I have to go. Take them to my grandfather's house.
Okay.
Stewart, I don't know where your grandfather lives. What? Oh, my good Lord.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Who are you?
My name's Homer. Colonel Keegan gave me your address.
You're that vagrant that dined in my restaurant a while back. Yeah.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
I was just wondering where I should take all those kids that were living in the warehouse.
I'm sorry, I don't follow. What?
We met about a year ago, and
Yeah.
you led me to believe that you had some sort of alternate shelter built for them.
You came all the way down here to my neighborhood, to my door, just to ask me that?
Well, I just want to believe that you're a man of your word, that's all.
Ah. Well, let me shine some light on your naive view of the world, young man. Okay? Nothing, and I mean nothing in this world is for free. All those broken down warehouses need to be torn down to make way for the future. I'm only trying to do my part in creating a better world.
Why does everyone think they can just govern the future and change the past around here?
What the devil are you talking about now?
My friend, Stewart, he's messing with something. Him and his professor, it's liable to bottom where the sun don't shine, and they have this machine. It's gonna cause more harm than good. I know it.
Are you trying to tell me that Professor Gaines at the college has discovered time travel?
Well, I know it sounds like it's ludicrous, but they disappeared right before my very eyes. What is that?
Apparently, it's the future. Okay, Mr. Homer, listen to me. A proposition to make. I want you to tell me everything you know about their little device, everything you've seen, everything you know, and I assure you those children won't sleep another night on the streets. You have my word.
Why do I feel like I'm being tempted in the wilderness? I'm sorry I said anything.
No, turn around. You say sorry to me? If you don't tell me what I want, then I'm sorry, Mr. Homer, because those children you care about so much will probably die.
God will provide.
Oh, what, like he's provided for you your whole life?
What makes you think you're better than everyone else?
Now be careful, good sir. This suit costs more money than you've seen in your whole lifetime.
His promises are good.
We'll see about that.
At their return from the year 1883, the team feels triumphant at having accomplished all they set out to do.
I'm not sure I'll ever get used to that. I told you it's real. We traveled through time and back, safe and sound. 24 hours to us, but 11 years to everybody else.
Oh, yes, I believe that was an effectual trip. Sydney, I am pleased with the doctor you entrusted the vaccine with. I feel certain he will get it into the right hands. You and Ruby may go. Enjoy your Christmas break.
Gee, Professor, what happened to your classroom while we were gone?
Stewart, I'd like a word with you.
Yeah, is everything okay?
I was specific about us staying together. You were gone for almost an hour. If you had been gone any longer, we would have had to leave you.
I know. I'm sorry. There was just something I really had to do.
I know. Save your parents.
What? You know?
If you hadn't done it, I would have done it myself.
I'm confused. I thought we weren't supposed to change anything.
The trip has always been to save your parents. Angus just didn't know that you would be the one who saved them.
Wait, Granddad knows about time travel?
It was he who financed the trip to save your father. He just didn't know that you'd be involved.
But you did. And you kept that secret from him and me. Why?
Oh, it's just the way it happened. Go on. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thanks. Professor Gaines, is everything okay?
No. It's none of your concern.
Professor, what happened?
I watched her die. Again. I couldn't save her, Stewart. I wanted to bring back a cure. I just couldn't.
I'm sorry. Who?
Well, my wife.
It's horrible. I'm so sorry, sir. Don't give up. We have the chart. We can make more calculations. Think about it. If this trip worked, if we really saved my mother and father, we can change history, sir. Don't give up. I'll do everything I can to help you.
Yes, you're right. Thank you. Now go on, it's late. What the blazes?
Trench territory, New York City, 1894. They strive to develop technology, buy technology, steal technology, because knowledge is power, and power is survival.
Hold right there!
Nope.
Ooh. My daddy taught me to keep my head up, my nose clean, and my powder dry. And if I had to shoot straight and to shoot first. What do you want, Devereaux?
It's Governor Devereaux to you, boy. Now, why don't you come on down and let's discuss this like gentlemen? I mean, it is only business after all. What happened to our truce?
Number one, all I care about is you getting your watchdogs off my block. And number two, we agreed to a truce only if you kept your hired guns away from all these kids.
My men don't care about your worthless street rats, and you know it. It's the weapon dealers and the gun runners we need to keep a watch on.
Like I said, truce only holds up if you keep your end of the bargain. Now, get off my block, and don't forget to relay the message to your muscle. Otherwise, we can't be held responsible for what might befall them. Is that clear, Governor?
Don't forget your place in the food chain, boy. I am above. You are below.
Is that right?
I own this town and everyone in it.
Last I checked, it was still a free country. You know, I ain't too sure how you got yourself elected governor, but the way I see it, it's an easy fix to undo that mess, if you get my meaning.
You dare to defy me! You started this war trench, but I'm going to finish it!
You have exactly 30 seconds to get you and your watchdogs off my block. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself 6 feet under. Now, personally, I wouldn't mind killing you and taking revenge for my family, but there needs to be some sort of standard of civility around here, even if I'm the only one trying to live up to it. So don't test me!
Don't take it personally, Trench. The road to power is paved with the casualties of your wretched...
20 seconds!
I have seen tomorrow and the outcome of this war. If you continue this disobedience, 22 of you will die!
10 seconds!
Listen to me!
5 seconds!
Get your money in fire! Stop! Stop! Girls, put your guns down. Put them down! And go home. I'll see you later. Well, I hope you enjoy this brief victory, Trench. Very brief indeed.
Governor, play nice. And I'd hurry along. My boy's got itchy trigger fingers.
Move.
Homer.
Search him!
What was that about?
Stand still.
Who are you? I've never met you or seen you before. If you're working for Keegan, you can tell him forget it. We got our guns from another runner.
Keegan? Who, Angus?
I'm not talking about no Angus. I'm talking about Martin Keegan.
My father?
Now, I know you're blowing smoke. Martin ain't got no son.
What?
You're a bit deaf, ain't you, boy?
Homer, what are you doing with all these guns?
Why do you keep calling me that? I go by Trench now. How do you know my real name?
I knew you before.
Is that right?
Hey, boss. You want to smoke this guy?
You don't have to do that.
No. Get out of here, kid.
Wait.
Go on, get.
No. Wait. Homer, what happened to you?
Nothing happened to me. That's just the way life is. If you ain't tough, you get steamrolled.
What about your faith? Remember how you were so close to God?
Boy, don't you know? There ain't no God.
God, everything has changed. This might sound crazy, but there was a time when I knew you before.
I've never seen you before in my life.
No, it wasn't this life. It was another life. One where you say you came to New York to find your family. But they were gone, killed by the plague. And that's when God rescued you. Don't you remember?
Yeah, me and my family came to the city, but the disease was Devereaux, and I aim to avenge their deaths.
Devereaux killed your family?
Yeah.
But why?
Why does a hog roll around in the mud, son? Because it's what hogs do.
This is all my fault. I've got to fix this. Where's Martin Keegan?
That power freak took over the charities building. Kind of poetic, ain't it?
Thank you. I have to go.
Why is everything so different? What happened to all of our stuff? This doesn't have anything to do with our trip, does it?
We were only gone 24 hours. We did exactly what we were told to do. But what else can explain everything being entirely different?
It looks like Barnard College is shut down. What happened to Priscilla?
I'm sure she's at her parents' house. Let's look for her there.
Good idea. This place is giving me the creeps. I want to know what's going on.
Don't worry. We're gonna find out.
Okay. What was that? I don't know, but I don't want to find out. Professor!
Ruby's sending. Are you okay?
Everything's different, Professor, and not in a good way.
The college dorms are abandoned. It's like there's no Barnard College anymore.
Obviously, our trip to the past created some unexpected changes. Columbia's boxed up as well. Listen, it is imperative that we keep a low profile, find out what went wrong, and see if we can fix it.
What should we do? Should we try to blend in? What if we see ourselves?
I won't see myself. If there was no Barnard College, I never would have come to New York.
Well, we may have created a new timeline, so there may very well be other versions of ourselves.
I think I would have a conniption if I ran into myself. I would know, but she would just be like, that girl is like looking into a mirror.
The city seems to be at war. Let's find out who's in charge and what's going on.
We were on our way to Priscilla's house. Would you like to come?
She's a fluffhead, but she is connected.
All right, but first we need guidelines. Absolutely no talk of time travel, Ruby.
Fine, it's obvious. Obviously.
And if we get separated, let's agree to meet back at the lab.
Good idea.
Okay. It's this way.
Right.
This is the Charities building back entrance. Oh, the moment of truth for the boy who changed time.
Let's see.
Martin! Martin Keegan, open up! I know you're in there. I have to talk to you. It's me, Stewart. Open the door, Dad. Martin! Come here.
Who the devil is making so much noise?
Dad, it's me, Stewart. Please
Go
open
away,
the door.
I'm busy!
Dad, it's me, your son. Open the door.
This is a trick. My son is dead!
I'm not dead. I'm right here.
Who are you? Who sent you? If you're spying for Devereaux, I have a policy to kill traitors!
I'm not. I was just looking for you.
Nobody looks for me unless they want something.
How did he die? Your son.
Devereaux's gang blew up our house. My wife and sons died in the explosion.
Sons? I had a brother? And my mother died anyways.
Get out of here!
Dad, stop! Look at me! Look at me! It's me, Stewart! Don't you remember? I'm the one who warned you to stay off the train in '83.
That's impossible!
It's not impossible. It was time travel. We went from '94 to '83 to deliver vaccines. I just got back an hour ago and everything has completely changed.
Time travel? So you are working for Devereaux!
Devereaux, why does everybody keep talking about him? I went with my physics professor from Columbia.
What professor? Columbia University's been closed for a long time.
Professor Gaines. He's the one who developed the theory of the temporal windows. We went from '94 to '83 to deliver the vaccines, but I just had one goal: to save you and Mom.
Benjamin Gaines has been in prison for many years.
What? Prison?
Come in.
Behold, the house of Devereaux, a palace unlike any that's existed before. It's a gaudy monstrosity, built on money and power gleaned from the ages.
It's so much grander than I remember it.
We don't know if they'll recognize us, so let's be cautious.
Right. Cool as cucumbers. If I see myself, I'll just pretend to get sick and hide in the powder room.
Can I help yous?
We're here to see Miss Devereaux.
Who is it, Mr. Scolari? Is it Andrew?
Some characters here looking for you.
Really, Mr. Scolari, must you be so capricious? Show them in.
So sorry to arrive unannounced, but, oh my, what is that?
Hello, Miss Devereaux. It's so nice to see you. We were just calling to... it's nice to see you again, and...
allow me to introduce myself. I'm Sydney Ross.
Have we met?
Not unless you've been to Chicago. I just moved to New York.
Oh, well, you must be the girls that Andrew brought over? I suppose you'll have to do. You can't be seen in the Grand working in those clothes. We'll have to find something more suitable. You can come with me. I was just on my way out. I'm assuming you want to start today? Mr. Scolari, my wrap.
Oh, Miss Devereaux, is your father home?
Oh, you mean to meet with Daddy? I thought that you were the chaperone to these young ladies. My mistake. Well, I'll get Daddy.
What just happened?
We just got a job.
Go get Daddy.
A job?
Not just any job, girls. Working at the Grand definitely has its perks. Let's go.
You stays right there. Turn around.
Oh, is there a problem?
It may have been a few years. I never forget your face, Professor Gaines.
When did you stop working for Columbia and start working for Mr. Devereaux?
Oh, don't get cute.
Hi. Professor Gaines. Professor Gaines. Bold move to come straight to my house. Your strategy certainly amuses me. Is he alone?
He showed up with a couple of girls.
Girls? Really? May I ask how you got out and who are you working for?
I am here representing myself. I couldn't help but notice you have quite an array of, shall we say, futuristic items.
Very perceptive. And what are you doing here?
I came to find out who's in charge, and I thought you might know.
No, that is humorous. I thought I showed you who was in charge the day I locked you up in prison. I thought they threw away the key, but perhaps I should have just killed you myself.
Interesting. So you're running the show and I'm locked away? Fantastic.
Actually, your prison break is quite fortuitous for me. Finding the temporal windows is becoming more and more of a challenge, and we've exhausted your notes. So, you have a choice to make. It's choice time. Choice time for Benjamin Gaines. You can either calculate more windows for me, or I can kill you where you stand. Simple as that.
So that's what's going on? You've used my machine? You've gone to the future?
Oh, my poor chap. The past, the future. I have dined with Cleopatra and ridden upon the flying machines of the future, all thanks to you, of course.
I think I'll take my hat now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Professor, but you've chosen poorly.
No. Excuse me, I bruise easily.
I don't care what he says. I know Trench is behind his escape from Sing Sing.
I thought that the minute I seen it.
It's time we take action. That way we can interrupt whatever schemes that southern gutter snipe has planned.
What do you want to do, boss?
Well, it's Christmas time. Perhaps a nice Yuletide slaughter will do the trick.
There'll be retaliation.
Then I'll have no excuse but to end them permanently. The people will support me. Just create enough chaos to be effective.
We'll be in and out, smooth as silk. Nobody'll know you gave the word.
What a gem, Scolari. What would I do without you?
So you develop war machines? Weapons?
Yes. So, in this other timeline, your mother and I died and you were raised by your grandfather?
Yes. Wait, is that what you're taking to the patent office? Your weapon designs?
Yeah, I ended up taking them 2 months later than the original train. That's how I became the premier name in firepower, Keeganomics.
Granddad said that you were a brilliant mind. Why didn't you use that to help people?
Tell me something, Stewart. What was it like in your world? Was it at war as well?
Not like this world you created. Sure, America was filled with poverty and immigrants were rushing in from all over the place. But America was a refuge, not a war zone.
I was hired by the government to develop weapons to keep the world safe.
Then how did it get like this?
Bribery, corruption. Every institution in this city is owned by Devereaux Enterprises. He's complicit in every underhanded scheme. I realized far too late that all my inventions were being commandeered to serve his appetite for power.
How did he get so powerful?
You said that you went through time. You traveled through time with Professor Gaines.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you something that I've never told anyone else before. Many years ago, he came to me. Devereaux came to me. His spies had discovered the most powerful machine I had ever seen. He had its inventor jailed, and he wanted me to make sense of his notes.
And you went along with it?
He threatened to kill you boys and your mother. I didn't have a choice.
You said we were killed anyways.
Once I'd finished the calculations, he meant to kill us all. I should have been there that night. Your brother, your mother, your grandfather were all killed.
Wait, Granddad's dead too?
Devereaux wanted to make sure that no one else knew he had a time machine. He's been after me ever since. I have my own sources of protection now. I provide technology to the Trench Gang.
Wait, Homer, I just saw him. They said they're getting their supplies from another person.
No. Oh, no. That is not good. That is not good at all. Oh, they're my protection from Devereaux's thugs.
Listen, before I came back, Homer warned me that messing with the timelines, even with the best of intentions, can result in really bad things happening. He was right. We've got to fix this.
We can't. Devereaux has the only machine all locked up.
No. We have our machine. The one that I came back in. If I can find the professor or his notes, we can fix this whole mess.
Wait, if that's true, then we should go right now and secure it before anyone else finds it.
The Grand Hotel. Entertainment is New York City's intoxicating diversion.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight for your listening pleasure, I would like to introduce the songbird of New York City, oozing with talent and charm, Miss Priscilla Devereaux.
Thank you. And tonight I'd like to ask my Andrew to join me in a duet. And why don't you give it up for the Steam Jets as they kick up their knees for all you gentlemen out there.
Drunk. Look at him.
He was born under a 3-penny, halfpenny planet, never to be worth a groat.
Hey, what have you thrown out, you wooden-headed buffoon? No one insults the boss.
Snollygoster? Seeing Andrew like this really confirms the direction he was heading. No, thank you. At any rate, we have got to change this back.
My feet are killing me in these shoes. I was never a slave to fashion. Who are they?
I don't know.
You know, I was talking to the bartender. He said that there's been trouble with the Trench Gang. I don't know who they are, but it's all very exciting.
The professor has got to have figured something out by now. We have to go back to the lab.
But our shift isn't over for 3 more hours. You all have guns.
You know what this looks like? A setup.
What are you talking about?
Look at Priscilla. She knows who these guys are, but she's playing it cool.
So we just do our job, right? Who do you think's in charge? Andrew?
No, Andrew does what he's told. This version of Priscilla, she's in charge.
So she can't do anything if she's up there dancing.
Don't worry. She can take care of herself.
Well, look what the cat dragged in. What do you think you're doing here, Trench?
I come in search of a little retaliation. Your father's thugs killed one of ours. Just a kid. He's violated our agreement.
What does that have to do with me? Look what you've done. You've ruined my crystal chandeliers. They're expensive.
Well, I came for you. Grab her, boys!
Over my dead body. My father will end you. He'll find you. Wherever you go, he'll find you.
Well, that's sort of the point, darling.
Greasy, low-dealing servant.
Hey, even though it's true, you shouldn't talk about your daddy that way. Now, you coming easy, or do I have to shoot up the china, too?
Whatever you're planning, it will not work.
Hey! I have no problem shooting you in the leg if that's how you want to play this. Okay, roll out.
That was Homer. You know, the sweet southern guy that wanted to save the homeless kids.
Homer? What happened to him in the past 11 years?
Looks like Devereaux happened.
We've got to get back to the lab. Come on.
Do you see what I'm holding here, Gaines? This is power of the future. Simply place this inside any one of these devices, and it comes to life. Wasn't that fun?
You are a child playing with fire, Devereaux.
Yes. And how are those calculations coming along?
Well, it would be a lot easier if I had used with both hands.
That's to chain him up, boss. The guy's slipperier than snail snot. He tried to get away twice times.
I've decided that we need to go back to the time when Trench first enters New York, so I can snuff out that simple-minded transient. Him being alive is a complication to me.
So that's what's going on here. Every time a problem arises, you go back and remodel the timeline to fit your nefarious plots.
You know, I should really congratulate you on that device of yours. Without it, I was just a simple landowner, but thanks to you and your genius, I am now king.
Thanks to me, you're a power-hungry deviant. I rue the day I created time travel.
Oh, that's enough of that. Nobody talks to the boss that way.
It's Trench. He has Priscilla. He shot up the Grand.
Really? Clever. Clever boy. This reaffirms my need to do away with that derelict.
He has Priscilla.
It's okay. Soon everything will be right as rain, Andrew.
And don't you think someone else will try to stop you?
Them that does will find themselves strapped to an anchor at the bottom of the Hudson.
Trench has Priscilla, Mr. Everett. We need to save her. Is anyone listening to me?
Why don't you go get me a drink, boy?
Get you a drink?
Now!
Get you a drink.
So, how many times have you changed the timeline?
Shut up and figure.
No. I refuse to be a party to this evil.
You will calculate or you will die.
And I would rather die. Someone has to stop you.
Take me to 1890 right now, or I'll blow your full head off. It would be a shame to destroy such an intelligent mind, wouldn't it? Oh.
This used to be our physics lab.
Columbia University was shut down years ago when Devereaux restricted the freedom of information.
How could one man do that? Who does he think he is, God?
He's the governor. He has all the power. You know, I can remember a time when God was acknowledged. Before the escalation of knowledge and power. Seems we got a little sidetracked, I guess.
Here's the machine.
Yesterday, this was a different world for you. I'm sure you're anxious to get back to the way things used to be.
Yeah, I never would have thought that I'd think those were the good old days. I was obsessed with the injustice towards the poor. All I could see was how our society was failing them.
We just need to figure out a way that this timeline doesn't exist, but that your mother and your brother, your grandfather and I all live.
Sounds like we need to get rid of Devereaux.
What are you looking for?
Well, there's a chart that the professor would use to calculate the windows. But it's gone. I can't find it anywhere.
Devereaux has it. I used it when I worked for him.
I don't know how I'm going to do this without the professor, then.
Well, hopefully he steered clear of anything having to do with Devereaux. Although I highly doubt it, as he owns the entire town.
I hope the girls are with him.
Girls? What girls?
Stewart, you're here. Oh, you'll never believe what we've been doing. This timeline's beyond exciting.
This timeline is terrible.
But who's that?
Oh, this is my dad,
Oh,
Martin
hello.
Keegan. Dad, this is Ruby and Sydney. They're part of my team.
Is this everyone? Where's the professor?
Yeah.
We left him at Devereaux's house. Priscilla gave us a job at the Grand. She didn't even know who we were. She, by the way, is a total vamp now.
The professor went with us to Devereaux's house, but we got separated from him there. We made plans to meet back here if anything should happen. You haven't seen him yet?
No.
And it's not likely we'll ever see him again if he stepped foot in the governor's front door.
Ever again? Oh, we've got to go save him. We've got to find him. Trench, he kidnapped Priscilla. They're trying to get to Devereaux.
This is an ongoing struggle, a battle between the rich and the poor.
Listen, my dad and I are trying to find a way to stop this timeline from ever happening. But without the professor or his charts, it's useless. I've done everything I can.
We need the professor. We've got to go save him.
No, Ruby, you stay here. I'll go after the professor.
What? No! No! I forbid it! It's far too dangerous!
Listen, unless you have a better idea, you need to stay here with the girls and get this machine prepped. As soon as I get back with the professor or his notes, we can fix all of this.
Son, here, take this.
I'm coming
Be
with
careful.
you. I'm coming with you.
Okay, I could use your help.
I've got to figure this out.
Get your hands off me, you little brute! How dare you walk into the Grand as if you own the place? You think you have any power in my world? In your dreams!
Why don't you shut up, you uppity dance hall floozy, and sit down?
I would never sit down in a place like this. It's filthy. It's a pigsty. You probably live here. You're nothing.
We got everything you asked for, boss. We even got some explosives. A whole chest of them.
I know what you're trying to do, and you will fail. You'll never succeed in overpowering my father. You can try and try. Don't you think other people haven't tried?
I'm sure all sorts of folks have tried. But as you have so perceptively pointed out, I got nothing to lose. And it's dangerous to mess with a man who's got nothing to lose, especially when he's got a whole chest of explosives.
Yeah, let's eat your Georgie. He has a machine. You'll never beat him.
I'm sure your daddy has all kinds of machines. But it ain't gonna save him this time.
You are wrong. You are so wrong. And if you really knew what all this was about, you'd turn tail and hide. But you won't. You're too ignorant for that, which is why you'll likely die tonight.
I am sick of your pretentious threats. Someone, please gag her.
Get that thing away from me. What are you doing?
Jesus,
Have you any idea who I am?
boss.
Good. Now I can think.
Any bright ideas on how we're gonna get in there?
I don't know. All I know... Wait, is that Ruby?
Who are you? Why are you lurking out here in the dark?
Stewart, it's the other Ruby.
Tell me now how you know my real name before I blast a hole in you.
2 words? Time travel. The other you and I are roommates. Trust me, there's another you back at the lab right now.
I don't have time for this rubbish.
Wait, please listen to me. We don't have much time either. Are you going in there right now?
That's right. I've got a business transaction to tend to.
Okay, listen. Devereaux has kidnapped our professor. When you go in there, he will know who you are. Ask him anything about your past that will reaffirm what I'm talking about. I need your help to get him out of there.
I'm not in the business of saving lives. Sorry.
Oh, good. My Christmas presents are here. It's about time. Let's see.
You're Devereaux?
Of course I am.
Let's get this over with.
Ruby! Ruby!
Who are you?
Don't mind him. Let's just talk about the gun. Let's go. Time is money.
Well, I call this baby the devil in a bronze dress. She can vaporize anything the size of a rat and stun anything coming at you. Pinpoint accurate up to 30 yards. Tell me how you know who I am.
I know everything about you.
Hello, I said don't pay attention to him. Let's focus over here, please. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
What are you doing here? Were you just back at the Grand?
What?
That or do you have a twin?
Wait! Take this. Who are you?
I told you. The name's Phoenix.
Phoenix. Really?
Your name is Ruby Frakes. You were born December 13th, 1875. You were raised by your Aunt Judith. Now, how would I know that?
Shut your mouth before I shut it for you.
Stop quiet. All right, I'm not having fun anymore. There are 5 guns trained on you, little girl.
Really, Devereaux? This is how you treat a guest?
Of course it is. Wait! Stop! Don't you...
I set my guns to stun. Figured I'd give them at least a fighting chance.
I can't move.
I'm chained up. I can't go anywhere.
Those chains are not breaking.
Oh, he's waking up.
I'm out of ammo. I can't do anything.
Just give this to my friends. They'll know what to do with it.
I can't move.
There's no way he's getting out of there, but he said to give you this. I've got to go.
Get me up for crying out loud. Where is she? Where is she?
She got away, boss. And she took the chart with her.
What?
Now what?
Devereaux, I got you surrounded. If you ever want to see your daughter alive, come out with your hands up.
What do you want to do, boss?
Gaines, get me out of this time zone right now.
The charter's gone. There's nothing I can do. I understand now. There are some things man should not know. For my own scientific trespasses, I will be judged. But this goes no further.
I swear to God, I will blow your head off. Now take me to 1890.
You're not going to get what you want. This is over.
Over, is it? I say when it's over. Scalari, do something violent!
Did you find Gaines?
No.
We couldn't get to him, but we have this.
Oh, how did you manage to get the chart?
It was the other Ruby. She helped us.
What? I did what?
Believe it or not, the other you just saved our tails.
Are you saying I was a hero? How exciting!
Ruby, can you help me look at this?
Listen to me, all of you. They're outside and I want everyone ready, armed to the teeth, ready for anything. You, why don't you take this and be useful for a change?
I don't want to get involved in this mess.
Involved is what you are. Now, there's only 2 sides, and you're obviously on my side. So stop being a whimpering little baby and show some gratitude for once.
Devereaux, you got 30 seconds to show your yellow face. Otherwise, me and my boys are gonna blow your house to oblivion.
I'd like to see him try. Everyone get ready?
Stay behind me, boss.
I intend to.
Let's see if we can find a window close to the time when before Christine and I were supposed to die.
I don't want you to die. There has to be a way to save you.
We can't make any changes at all.
So you're telling me we go back knowing my father's gonna die and not do a thing to stop it? No!
What if I go back? Just me.
If you went back alone and made the right changes, we would never remember any of this. Just like Priscilla didn't remember us.
But you would have to die, Mr. Keegan, or that would create yet another timeline, and who knows what implications that would carry.
Dad, are you willing to do this?
I've lost everything anyways. I just need to go back in time before the idea of time travel ever enters Professor Gaines's mind.
But are you willing to get on the train knowing that you're gonna die?
No, listen. There will be two of me up until the point in time when Professor Gaines decides not to pursue time travel. Then I will cease to exist.
No.
The other Martin will have no idea what is to be his fate. I just need to stay out of his way.
No. There has to be something. Maybe something that only you know about. That stops you from getting on the train.
The way I was then, it would have taken an act of God to get me off the course I was headed down. Maybe I can be that act of God.
I've got it. There's a window going back today to 1882, but it's in less than 5 minutes.
That's our best chance.
Sydney, we've got to make the calculations while they say goodbye.
Stewart, I know I'm a little late in saying this, but I'm so very proud of you, and I know your mother would be as well.
I'm not ready to say goodbye.
Well, maybe this isn't goodbye.
Maybe it is.
Come here. Listen, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna make it okay. Son, you are a gift to me. I never thought I'd see you again.
I hate to break this up, but it's time to get in the machine now.
How long does it take?
It's instantaneous. The window opens, the machine goes through, and it's over.
Goodbye, Stewart.
Goodbye, Dad.
God help me. I created this mess. If you can somehow fix it, I will do whatever it takes to restore the world back to the way it should be.
Safe Harbor Building Dedication, 1894. It's a genuine comfort when people get it right.
Today is a great day. Thank you for coming to help me honor a great man, Martin Stewart, my son. It was his last vision that we open a home and a school for the needy. I have a letter that he wrote that I would invite my grandson, Stewart Keegan, to come and read in dedication.
My father wrote me this letter from the sanitarium when he was quarantined with diphtheria. He contracted it while he was working with the poor of the city. When I was 7 years old, there was a fire in my father's workshop. All of his weapons research was destroyed. His life's work, gone. In his despair, he began wandering the streets alone. It's then that his eyes were opened to the terrible plight of the poor, the orphans, the homeless, the immigrants, the sick and the suffering. He decided to change the focus of his life and devote his time and talents to the bettering of people less fortunate. Dear Christine, Stewart, Henry, and Dad,
I write from the sanitarium. Very likely I will never leave here. I know you share my passion to see a solution to the desperation faced by so many of our city. My life will not have been in vain if you could finish the work I started. Funds are in my account and plans are ready to build a facility dedicated to the needs of our friends here in the borough. My last wish is to know that you will carry the torch that fell into my hands the day my former life went up in smoke. The arsonist was never caught, and after exhausting my efforts to track him down, I gave up and gave in to despair. That's when my eyes were opened. I realize now that it was an act of God's mercy to have my life's work suddenly taken from me. I cannot imagine the different course my life would have taken if not for that fire. And now a new legacy, one that I am very proud to put my name to, is what will stand long after I am gone. I love you all so much. I wish I could have been there to build it alongside you, but God had other plans. He saved me from my own works and ideas, put me on a new path. And now I look forward to seeing His face and hearing Him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." My last thoughts and hopes are with you. With all my love, Martin Keegan.
Thank you. Thank you, Stewart. Tragedy changes the course of our lives. And sometimes it is a severe mercy that drives us to the arms of our Savior. Martin taught me that no matter what, God is for us, not against us. No matter what life brings our way. Here you go, son. Let us raise a glass to Martin Keegan, our son, father, husband, and friend. Thank you for sharing your vision. Cheers.
Oh, Stewie, that was simply terrific. I wish you could have known your father. I felt like I knew him.
Thanks. Just wish he could have been here to see it open.
That would have been lovely.
Oh, Stewart, you'll have to finish your degree and join me over at the college.
You know, I'll be everyone's favorite teacher by the time we get back. I'm planning to teach chemistry to the illiterate.
You have to teach how to read first, Ruby.
You're always so worried about process.
Well, I can't wait to graduate, and then I can open a new clinic here.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We barely have room for the school.
I think I have someone to solve that problem. Daddy, why don't you tell them?
Priscilla, darling. Oh, fine. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. I have an announcement to make. As of today, plans are in the works to have a children's home erected right here in this very block. I just bought the whole property. Plans start soon.
Oh, thank you. Isn't he just Ducky?
Well, far be it for me to be outdone by Martin Keegan. Sorry, Stewart.
Sir, are you sure a hospital in that district can make any money?
Of course it has to make money. No one does anything for free, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Right? Yeah.
this is a day to mark down in the books. Why don't we all strike a pose? Get together.
Oh my, is that the latest Primo camera?
Absolutely up to date. Daddy bought it for me for Christmas.
I sure did.
Stop smiling.
All right, if I could have your attention, please. I would like to introduce Professor Benjamin Gaines, who will be seeing to the overseeing of the school. Homer Sutton, who will be seeing to the room and board of the families. And me daughter-in-law, Christine Keegan, who will be cutting a ribbon to officially open the doors.
Well, we hereby dedicate this school to the rising stars and creative minds of tomorrow.
When the Holy Family first made their way to Bethlehem that starry night, they were desperate and in need. And I reckon they could have used a place like this. It seems fitting that we dedicate the Safe Harbor building on Christmas Day, since Jesus was a man who lived his life to serve others. I remember my first time in this city, and there was nowhere to get help. I'm proud to see this city open a building like this to give hope to folks like me.
Well said, Homer. Thank you. And so, I declare, ladies and gents, that all who enter Safe Harbor find hope, love, and new life.
Here.
Priscilla, will you please lead us in one more carol?
Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet their words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to men, and thought how as the day
The miracle of Christmas is a reminder that the hand of God is vitally at work in the affairs of men. Let us remember that adversity, when faced head-on and overcome, sharpens character, focuses priorities, and leads us to the hands of God. Finally, science is best employed in understanding this beautiful world we live in, and worst employed in challenging the laws of God.